Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and welcome back to another video. So last night Tesla announced the latest refreshed version of the Tesla Model S and the Model X, the 2021 models, and although it doesn't carry that many exterior tweaks, we've seen some awesome interior changes. So today I'm going to go over all of the changes for both models, what I like, what I don't like, the prices, and which one that I would go for. Okay, so looking at the exterior of the Model S, I think the first thing you'll notice is the chrome has gone completely. So they've de-chromed the car, kind of in line with the new Model 3s and the Model Ys. So we've got the matte black or the satin black on the door handles and around the windows. But it still looks great, so considering it's very similar looking to the Model S that we're used to seeing on the road, it would have been nice to have seen a slight change. So maybe they could have changed the grille, or they could have changed the headlights very slightly, so you would have known just by looking at it that it was the 2021 model. But obviously they've done the same with the Model 3, so the changes that we've seen lately is just a very slight tweak to the exterior. And that's kind of it for the exterior, so there's not many changes really. I will actually go through the custom order page in a couple of minutes, and we'll go through all the different options that are available, including the colours and the wheels and so on. But what we'll do next is we'll look at the interior, and this is where we really see the big changes, and it looks really, really nice. And the first thing you'll notice is the steering wheel, and this is totally different to anything that I expected to see. I don't think it'll actually be a production steering wheel, or it might be an add-on in the future. I don't think this will be the standard steering wheel that we will expect to see. But looking at it, you can see it's got the scroll wheels on the side. It's got the what looks like kind of touch buttons as well. Because the first thing I noticed when I open this up is there are no stalks on the side. So the stalks you would use for changing gear, the stalks that you would use for indicating, they're not there at all. But if you look on the steering wheel, it looks like you've got touch buttons instead. So there's what looks like a left and a right arrow. So you'd be pressing the buttons on the steering wheel to indicate left and right. And what are your thoughts on this steering wheel? I mean, if you drive your car at the moment with your hands at 10 and 2, obviously you won't be able to do that with this because the steering wheel literally isn't there. The other thing as well that I wanted to mention was I'd actually seen an image floating around on Twitter this morning, and this image was showing the same interior that you can see here, but this one's got a full-size steering wheel. Now, I don't know if this is a mock-up, I don't know, obviously it's a render, but I don't know if it's a legitimate image. But this would imply that there is the option, possibly in the future, to have a normal steering wheel in the Model S and probably the Model X as well. And it's great to see that behind the steering wheel, we've still got a cluster, which obviously will display things like your speed, probably navigation, and various other things as well. And it means that the screen to the side will purely be used for your media and your entertainment. And talking about the screen, well, this is obviously the entertainment center of the car, is where all of your controls will be. Now, they've obviously gone for the horizontal display this time, which immediately looks so much better than the previous version. And obviously, we've seen this in the Model 3 and the Model Y for years, and it makes so much more sense. So the screen here is a 17-inch cinematic display. So it's got a 2200 by 1300 resolution. It says it's ultra bright, true colors, exceptional responsiveness, and it's got a left and right tilt. Now I think this is really interesting because it probably means that it can tilt towards the driver or towards the passenger, something that some Model 3 owners have actually been customizing to their own screens. But in total, there are actually 3 screens in this car now. So you've got the 17-inch display that we just talked about, you've got the display behind the steering wheel, your cluster, and there's actually now a third display, and this is between the seats in the rear for passengers. And this screen will allow control of media, games, and climate for the people sat in the back. I think the screen is probably a little too low for kind of normal viewing, and if you were sat in the back of the car, you're probably just going to look through and watch the front screen instead. But it's cool if you've got children as well and you wanted to hook up a controller, you could obviously play games in the back. And talking of gaming, Tesla have actually mentioned this morning that the gaming setup is on par with next-gen consoles, and it's got 10 teraflops of processing power and obviously the ability to use a wireless controller. So like in the Model 3 and the Model Y, you can connect your PlayStation or your Xbox controller to it and you can play games. Tesla have said it's actually powerful enough to play games like The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, which is absolutely insane. And as it has got a screen in the back, it looks like you'll be able to run 2 different games or screens at the same time. So they're not in sync like you would normally have in a car. So it could be things like you could be gaming in the back while watching something on Netflix in the front. And as you would expect, the Model S has got a glass roof. But what's nice about this glass roof is it's a full glass roof, so it goes from front to back. There's no pillar in the middle obstructing your passengers' views. It also means it will make it feel a lot brighter, and it will make it feel a lot more spacious as well. So if you've been in a Tesla and you've listened to the premium package, you know that the audio quality is just incredible. And this seems to be no different with the Model S. So it comes with a 22-speaker, 960-watt audio system, and it offers the best listening experience at home or on the road. And the main thing it mentions here is it's got a microphone which enables active noise cancelling. Now I think this is really interesting because I assume it means that it will obviously be able to drown out any exterior sound as you're listening to the interior sound. What would be great is, I wonder if you can actually use these microphones to drown out the road noise and wind noise and tyre noise when you don't actually have any music on. Now looking at the climate control, which in any Tesla is absolutely incredible, it's always controlled via the screen, so there are no vents as such in the actual car to control. But as it's a tri-zone climate control, it means you can control the front left of the car, the front right of the car, and the rear of the car. So ideal for those cold days when you want to preheat the car, and it's ideal for the summer days when you want to cool it down. So in the Model S, it's great to see that you've also got the wireless charging for your mobile phone as well. And something I noticed is it looks like they've actually moved the hazard warning button. So like with the Model 3 and the Model Y, the hazard warning button is in the roof of the car, whereas on here they've actually put it in the center console, which actually makes a lot more sense. And as the Model S is a hatchback, it means you've got plenty of storage as well. So you can obviously take things with you like your bike, as they've obviously demonstrated in this example here, but there's plenty of storage and there'll be no issues at all. So when it comes to ordering the new Tesla Model S, there are 3 versions available. Now obviously I'm in the UK, so the prices you're seeing on screen here are the UK prices, but they start at about £84,000 for the long range version, and that goes up to about £110,000 for the Plaid version, and then for the Plaid Plus, you're looking at about £130,000. Now the major difference between these 3 versions are the battery range and the speed. So you can see here that the long range version is about 412 miles range, and it's a 0 to 60 of 3.1 seconds, which is obviously a really good speed. The next version up is the 390 mile range with a 0 to 60 of 1.99 seconds. And then you've got the final version, the Plus version, which is 520 miles range, and that's under 1.99 seconds. That's absolutely rapid. So for this example, if I choose the Plaid Plus version, and we'll actually go through here and we'll see, so that's about 1,100 HP, which is absolutely rapid. That's absolutely insane. So we just click through, and what we'll do is we'll actually just go through the different customization options that we've got available. So straight off the line, I think it looks pretty boring. I'm not sure I like those wheels, if I'm honest. I'm not really sure I like those. So if it was myself, I would definitely I'd go from the 19s to the 21-inch wheels. They're nice. £4,400 for those wheels. They're quite expensive. And the different colour options you've got available here. So obviously you've got white, which is free. Black, which is 1,450. Then you've got gunmetal, which is 1,450 as well. Deep blue metallic. And you've got red. So red is the most expensive colour, and that comes in at £2,500. But I think that's a nice combo. I think the red with the 21-inch wheels looks really, really nice, especially with the matte black kind of door handles and the window surrounds as well. Okay, so moving on to the next page, you've got the option here for the different interior package. So all black, well, that's included for free. So you've got the carbon fiber options in there as well. You've also got the white interior. So as you can see here, you've got the seats, the door cards, and the armrest as well as the front as well. So you've got some white accents there, and that's for £2,000. And then you've got the cream option, and again, that's £2,000, and the same areas here are all coloured in this cream colour. So I think the white looks really nice. I do like the look of the white, but if it was myself, I'd probably just go for the black. I think the black looks really, really clean. Okay, so let's take a look at the full self-drive and the autopilot option. So the full self-drive is £6,800. Now that gets you, as I say, the full self-drive, and so you get the navigate on autopilot, you get the auto lane change, you get auto park, you get summon, and a few other things as well. Whereas in my Model 3, for example, I just have the free option, the autopilot. And that's more than enough for me. And that means it follows the road, it brakes, it accelerates, and it steers as well. So if we look at the spec that we've gone for, so we've got it in the red paint, we've got the extra wheels, and that's it. We haven't added anything else at all. And that comes in at a cash price of £137,880. And that's with a deposit today of £1,000. Now, obviously in the UK, unfortunately, we have to wait a little bit longer than everybody else in the world, it seems. So our estimated delivery is 2022, as opposed to, I think they were saying for the rest of the world, the US example is going to be 2021 or later on this year. So yeah, overall, I think the Model S is absolutely awesome. I think the exterior tweaks are nice and clean, and I think the interior tweaks are much needed as well. And now let's take a quick look at the Model X. So the Model X is very similar. So the exterior, again, they've not really changed too much. So if you have a look at it, it looks very similar to what we've seen already. Again, you can see that they've changed the chrome and they've changed it to black. And that's pretty much it. So looking around the car, it looks exactly the same. That's not a bad thing though, because I really, really like the look of the Model X anyway. Again, when you look at the interior, that's where we see the changes. Now, we'll be able to go over this quite quickly now, because the Model X interior is almost exactly the same as the Model S. So the first thing you'll notice is obviously the same screen in the center. So you've got the 17-inch screen. It's also got 3 screens again. So you've got the one in the center, you've got the one behind the steering wheel, and then you've got the one in the rear as well. So it works exactly the same as the Model S. And the same applies to the sound system as well. So again, it's got 22 speakers, it's got 960 watt audio system. So right now the differences that we're really seeing between the Model S and the Model X, a bit like with the Model 3 and the Model Y, is purely size. Now when it comes to ordering the Model X, again there are two versions available with this one. So you've got the long range, which in the UK starts at about £90,000, and you've got the plaid version, which starts at about £110,000. So the long range is 360 range, with a 0 to 60 of 3.8 seconds. And then you've got the plaid version, which has got 340 mile range, and that's a 0 to 60 of 2.5 seconds, which is obviously rapid. So the plaid version, that's kind of replacing the performance version that we've seen in the previous models. So looking at the different options we've got available, so we've got the white, which again is included for free, and then we've got the black, which is about £1,450, and then you've got the gunmetal grey, you've got the blue, you've got the red, and again the red is coming in at £2,500, so the red's definitely more expensive. Now by standard it comes with the 20-inch wheels, and again I do think speccing the bigger wheels, the 22-inch wheels, is so much nicer, and honestly I think this combo, the red with the black, looks really, really nice. And then finally on the interior as well, we've got the option here for the all black interior, which is included for free. We've got the option for the black and white interior, and finally the option for the cream interior, and these two extras are about £2,000. And then next up you've got the option to choose your interior layout. So by standard you've got the 5-seat interior as you would expect, and that's included at no cost, and then you've got the 6 and the 7-seat interior. Now the 7-seat interior will obviously eat into your boot space, so any space that you wanted to use for storage and carrying your bikes and so on, then obviously these seats would be in place of that. And then the last option is the autopilot, or the full self-drive. So free is the autopilot, that allows you to follow the road and it will steer, accelerate and brake and so on. And then you've got the full self-drive if you want to use summon and you want to navigate on autopilot and things like that. So if it's £6,800, it's quite a lot of money. I wouldn't spend it. I don't think it's a requirement, especially here in the UK. It's quite limited anyway. But if you did want to add it, obviously that's the price. So in total now it's coming in at £124,280, and that's for the red paint, the 22-inch wheels, and that's the Model X Plaid. So which one am I going to go for? Neither. I can't afford it. There's absolutely no way that I will buy either of these two cars. I'm happy with the Model 3 that I've got. I will keep that for another couple of years or so, 2 or 3 years. But with this, this is a dream car. It really would be. If I had £130,000 and I wanted to spend it on a car, I would probably go for the X. That's because I've got a family, I've got 2 children and a wife, and I think that would be more practical to me, which sounds daft considering I do have a Model 3. But yeah, this is one I go for, and I love the way the doors open on the Model X. But what about you? If you were given £130,000 and you could choose between the new Model S and the new Model X, which one would you go for? And what colour would you go for as well? I'm really interested to see what you guys think as well. So that's a quick look at the Model S and the Model X. Totally different to something that I'd usually do. I don't really do screen recordings like this. I obviously create content usually. But yeah, see what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next one. I have actually got a video coming out in a couple of days, which is about my Tesla Model 3. So if you want more Tesla content, stick around, and I will see you on Sunday. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Until next time.